at some of those hit scans. You know, Dallas, they've tried playing Kiriko during the season and whatnot to have that extra hit scan. It just has not worked out. That's one where I think the Shock would have a huge advantage on. So yeah. I feel like there's more pressure here on Dallas because I think the Shock have a really good pick for that next match.
Dallas didn't want to play Sigma on that map. They had Harbin Saga, and they weren't playing that sort of poke composition at all on in the previous tournament. Dallas do not want to go to that map, but they also don't want to drop this one. Good real back and forth stuff here. Again, Proper 14 out of 29 of his team's final blows on the last map, continuing to be a headliner. So frightening even in map losses, but here come the fuel once more. We're up to the races on Oasis.
And Violet on the Lucio. We talked about how fast building these sound barriers.
You need to get value out of them, Matt.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's great you're building them. You've got to make them high value.
Edison here again, very safe place to start.
Not charged up enough yet.
Hard to even find opportunities to build charge. He actually concedes high ground here, but the disrupt the shot will give the Shock pause for thought. In goes Mikeyy, bubble thrown down straight away. Edison has to make use of this safe angle for the time being here. Eventually someone's head is going to swivel in his direction, and Fielder is out at sea. Screeching Wilson as Mikeyy gobbles him up.
As everybody pushes in there for San Francisco, and they get Sparkle really low at the Star Fielder as well. Edison gets low, it'll be the point going to San Francisco's first.
Edison's bizarre adventure, he ends up on the opposite side of the map, going for the health pack here, knowing Fielder was out of the picture. Dallas surge back into the point here. What, looking for a pick and Proper? What is this? The audacity of this man!
The railgun is supposed to be used at range, not like a shotgun. He gets right up, and it's interesting, they've done that a few times. He slides up, gets right in Edison's face, and then the protection suit comes right down on top, where he has a second of invulnerability to land that shot, and it seems time and time again he does.
When we say dive comp, we don't mean the whole team dives. Normally there's a component of the team that dives, and your Sojourn will sit back. Proper, not about that life. Again, making sure the Fuel know that he respects them none.
Sound barrier available here early as well for the Shock. I think you just got to use it, get more aggressive behind it. Yeah, that's what they decide to do.
Primal even Fearless. Again, trying to make it hard for Proper to connect any shots. In the meantime, Edison has the room to work with. Striker goes down. Fearless has done his job, Matt.
That is exactly what you want to see out of your Winston in a meta like this. Sound barrier used. You think the Shock are going to get aggressive behind it. Primal Rage used and just knocks Proper out of line of sight of anybody.
Shock get a pretty nice buffer here though, 56%. It really takes a while for Dallas to put it together as most of the fighting happened off the point. Here's the Kitsune Rush though, which is the 1 kill on Violet. Should be enough to seal this up. Finn doesn't even bother going for his ultimate here. Mikey's Primal was used. That's gonna be the waste. Okay, Edison issues a challenge mid-round.
Yeah, and I wonder, you know, just kind of looking at the series in totality, if you're better off maybe trying to use that sound barrier, your own rush, to combo that, because Mikey's used Primal a few times during that Kitsune Rush from the Dallas field. He gets just chunked down so fast.
You want bubbles during that Kitsune Rush. I don't know if you want the Primal Rage necessarily. The cooldown reduction is huge. Here's the Death Blossom from Striker. Nobody's there to receive it though. Sparkle now tries to walk the road. And Mikey's out of the picture here. Edison in a safe place, but you can't escape from Proper.
Anywhere safe with him on the map? Nope.
The guy is dangerous, almost has another rail ready to go here. All of Dallas getting bundled off into that left-hand side room here.
And they have the healing of both supports. It's actually going to be a point flip. Sparkle had to step off him for a brief sec.
Yeah, Sparkle didn't want to face down Proper at all. And now the Shock are playing with House Money! And Proper's going to the bank with it. Still is able to bring them down, but here's a beat from Violet, Matt. The Shock want to maintain their claim to this space, and they will. Fearless is so low. Fielder goes for a Kitsune Rush, but they can't keep the Winston alive. That ultimate goes to waste. Can they get something with that now?
They have Mikeyy low. They're just trying to push him back, but it's going to be Finn getting on the point here. Mikeyy will come back as well.
That is huge. You worry about that Kitsune Rush, right? How do they get use out of it? They lose a player early. Dallas commit. They say, we have to go now. 4 players or 3, we have to go. They're going to even this up, Matt.
They're going to get very close to a tie game. Finn has to be so careful. Trying to cross to the rest of the team.
Edison starting to position a little bit more aggressively here. They want to cut the shock off. Dallas reluctant to push any further than off the point, though. They will be awaiting San Francisco's first move. Railgun there, Edison acknowledges Proper's presence on the left-hand side, but doesn't inflict any damage. Here is the rush, Matt. Finn goes in. Edison going to be forced away. The swift step to try and back him up. And Mikeyy going to go for the primal once more, just to force them away. San Francisco have the point, but it's 99 for Dallas. Last fight.
Dallas intentionally gives that up there. They know they can re-engage with that sound barrier.
Sound barrier, here it is. Like you said, no support ultimates available for San Francisco. They have to play cagely from the extremities of the point, but eventually Dallas are going to look to take the fight to them now. Mikeyy takes a licking out. The opening needs to be topped up, but Dallas will flip the point now. It's 99 to 99, and Edison still has all the room he needs. Striker, death blossoming in the woods, but no one's there to see it. It's going to be Sparkle instead. Mikeyy comes back in, but he gets blown to smithereens. And the Dallas Fuel steer the ship home in the first round.
And our first control map goes the distance. But the way the first point on control went here, looks like we could be going the same, as these two teams are so evenly matched. Think about the shock. It looked like potentially earlier in the week, this is a team that could be out early, and you're kind of talking about how disappointing the season is. As you know, Proper, just great in the regular season. They've gone on an insane loser bracket run. I feel like getting better and better with each series. You see, just matching that stellar play of the Dallas Fuel.
A couple days ago, we wouldn't have thought they'd be able to stay in lockstep with a team like the Fuel. A #1 and #2 seeds, respectively, meeting up in the final. Their paths converging here at the nexus of the Overwatch League season.
Dallas decides to take high ground on the side first. The shock. They'll take the highway side.
Fearless taking the opportunity, forces a swift step there from Finn. So just having to get that cooldown out. It's a good way to start. It doesn't matter though. There's no saving Edison there. Proper balls one through his brain.
I don't think he's actually even aiming for Edison there, because Sparkle's coming around the corner, then actually dodges it, and Edison just right behind him.
Proper is here to excite and delight. There's a delivery on that promise here. San Francisco will start with this early lead. Let Proper get going, man. The game's going to get away from you awful quick.
And this is one of the control points in Overwatch, just in all of the maps, right? That is very difficult to flip. A lot of spots to contest from, a lot of cover on the point. Shock can get a ton of percentage out of this.
Maybe early right there from Striker, unclear. He takes a bit of damage up front. Oh, they're hunting for Edison, and Proper spears him to the floor!
He is not scared of him at all in that matchup. I mean, just as soon as he has an idea where Edison is, I am getting right in his face and we're having a fight.
I love that. So often we see the Sojourns from range, right? Maybe try and hope that there's a random railgun headshot connecting. Proper doesn't want to leave it up to chance, Matt. He believes he's better, knows it in fact. There's the Kitsune rush here, and that's Chiyo getting picked off. Dallas disperse a little bit as they try and get towards the point here, and this one is a non-starter.
Yeah, as they try and jump over the top, interesting. Fearless gets on the point. Step from Fielder, getting right to him. They use the Kitsune rush as, you know, the Shock are actually trying to move their way back onto the point there, trying to force them into the rush. Doesn't even matter though.
80% ticking. San Francisco crucially with a sound barrier in reserve.
This point's been a bloodbath.
They've got everything they need, Matt. They're so far ahead. Oh, Proper! Okay, fancy footwork there. A little bit of twinkle toes keeps him alive, and now the spawn camp begins. What can one do against such reckless power? Dallas posing the same question. Fearless is able to slip through the defenses and get a touch here, but everybody's coming for him. Fearless gets off here. A couple players coming in. He eventually goes down. The Fuel have to do it with only 4. This time it's Sparkle now. A very sheepish contest. Edison was able to find Violent though. There might be something here. A sound barrier also going to be committed. Edison looking for more value off this overclock now. Dallas have been allowed to establish a foothold here, but for how long? Sound barrier now is over. Dallas need these reinforcements and they need them fast. Edison is a full charge with no targets to fight here. The stave Mikeyy opposite tries to interfere with Fearless's plans. Edison still has a safe pocket to work from here, but now he's going to get pressured down. Mikeyy, and as violence, the death wasn't from Striker. Punctuate in the sentence that says, we'll see your first round and raise you the second.
That was not a close round. Shock, they establish dominance and control of the point first, and they do not look back. So we move to the final round on Oasis. So much pressure here. Winner of this round goes to series point. For me, let's see who kind of goes for that high ground control first, right? There's some high ground on the backside of the point here. Who tries to take control of that first? And then who has to play from that low ground? Because it can be very difficult.
This could be it. The back-breaking round in this first of 4 series. Going to series point is a huge boost for either squad. Fearless there has his little home invaded up on that high ground. Disrupt the shot thrown to force him down.
So interesting, no team takes that high ground first, but Dallas takes the point. And I think it's because if Mikeyy actually kind of dives in here towards Edison in the back, he can actually use that slide and the dash to get up there towards the high ground where nobody on the shot could access it then.
Edison farming that bubble here. Proper
goes really low.
Fielder has to get out. Look at the damage on Dallas right now. That has to be topped up, but Fielder is there. Proper is playing so far for the rest of his team, but he knows he can just slide away if he has to. Dallas are grouped up. They're looking scared, but Mikeyy is low, low, low. And Proper still goes where he pleases. Sparkle walked head first into that one.
And Sparkle and Fearless are just taking so much damage that as soon as that happens, it's just some damage down from Striker, Proper as well. And then they just capitalize so fast. And the Shock don't mind Mikeyy taking damage because they feel like the Dallas are not going to capitalize, not going to play aggressive around that corner.
They're not. Proper is constantly swinging left to right around that pillar. Edison is playing from inside the room.
He plays Sojourn in almost like instead of like more of a long-range railgun in like that medium to close range.
Like Cassidy sightlines almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Chiyo there watered away. Sparkle again, doesn't want to be here, Edison. Slides on out, and it's going to be an overclock now for Proper, but the Foxes are coming home. Edison's able to find Mikeyy early in the fight. Finn uses Kitsune Rush as well, and there goes Chiyo. His head pops like a balloon. And Proper has the space, he has the room. What can he do with it now? A Striker out of the mix. The front line's starting to collapse a little bit, but Edison is no longer a threat. Proper trying to get people to look at him, trying to garner some attention, and Fearless happily obliges. He's going after the Sojourn, but Dallas don't have the point. They need to get a flip here.
And you know, the sound barrier is not great there from Violet. It doesn't say Striker, but look at this. Mikeyy back in the mix. The point is not flipped, and he's got Primal.
Crucially, Sparkle trying to go for the death blossom, but it's cut down by Proper. He found the headshot to interrupt that ultimate. What a crucial moment for him to make that happen. And here comes Mikeyy. Sound barrier now for the Dallas Fuel. Mikeyy able to play from the extremities here, but he sees Edison. He thinks about going downstairs and dealing with it, but a Kitsune Rush comes out from Fielder. Saves the Sojourn's life for now, but all the while, Shock are ticking up this capture percentage now at 78. Mikey's low. Proper's able to find Fearless. No one again. The Winston battle being won out once more, and Striker comes in. Sparkle removed, and Chiyo has to head for the kills. This has gone all wrong for Dallas.
That fight goes so long. They lose Edison here at the end, 90%. End counting for the Shock. One fight separates them from going to game point.
Edison's going to be late, Matt. It's 4 players that Dallas have to make this happen with. It's like Helm's Deep, an unlikely scenario for the Fuel. Their Sojourn is on the way, and the Shock gives some ground here. But Proper's done with that. He's here to take what is his. Bubble up in the way, but it's going to be a Kitsune Rush coming down now. Proper looking to back away. See Sparkle heading his way, and the bubble now thrown down over him. But there it is! That's the pick! Sparkle's down, but Edison's able to reciprocate this time. It's Mikeyy taken off the board. Playing around that middle pillar again, and Proper still swinging wide. Real wide. Upstairs, and Edison, he's 6 feet under. Fearless now trying to get some value out of this primal, but everybody's looking at him. There's not enough healing for the Fuel. Fielder now throwing out his tickets, but nobody wants him. San Francisco go to championship points.
The momentum is so on the side of the Shock. Dallas coming out of winners proper. So cool on stage. Dallas, they've been so good all season long. We've been talking about the #1 seed coming this event. They've looked fantastic towards the winner's bracket.